The Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program had not done a single draw this entire year until start of June 2025. OINP had been holding off doing draws for 2025 thus far. Almost half a year had passed and OINP had not done a single draw for the year. But all of the silence broke when beginning of June, that is June the 3rd, 2025, OINP did big draws sending thousands of invitations. More about these draws, what stream they were in, what region they targeted, and what to expect in the future draws. This is what we're going to talk about in this video, so stay tuned until the end. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Dhruv. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. At our firm FHCN, we assist all prospective immigrants with their immigration to Canada. If you are an aspirant, you need assistance, here is our contact information. Feel free to contact us and we would be happy to assist you. If you would like to chat with me or any other RCIC in our firm, you can book an appointment. The link to book an appointment is in the description of the video. Let's dive into the details of the OINP draws for June 2025. But before we go there, let's quickly answer the comment of the week. This comment comes on our video on can you work while awaiting your PGWP? And the question is that I had applied for my PGWP. I got a letter which says that I can work until June 10, 2025. There is still no decision. Can I work after June 10th while awaiting decision? Excellent question, a very common question. And the answer is yes, you can work. The letter that you are issued by IRCC is usually dated 6 months from the date of issuance of that letter. So they basically write a date that is out in the future 6 months, essentially because they pertain or they assume that within the 6-month period your application would be processed, the application processing would complete and you'd have a decision. However, if the application ends up taking longer than that, your maintained status gives you the right to continue working as long as a decision is not made on the application. Until a decision is made, you can continue working even though it may be after June 10th. I hope this helps. Now let's go into the detail of the OINP draws for June 2025. So on June 3rd, 2025, OINP sends thousands of invitations to prospective applicants who had expression of interest in the OINP system, and they essentially invited folks under the international student stream, in-demand skill, and foreign worker stream. So guys, here on the screen you can see the OINP page, and if we look at the invitations to apply issued in 2025, these are the invitations to apply that have been issued so far: 811 in the foreign worker stream, 2,540 in the international student stream, and 372 in the in-demand skill stream. So guys, and all of these invitations, by the way, came on June 3rd, one single day. They issued a bunch of invitations. So they had whoever had been waiting for so long, they did a big mass draw and issued so many invitations. Now guys, if we look at the details of these draws, the first is the OINP employer job offer foreign worker stream. And on the screen, you can see on June 3rd, we had different draws. And these draws essentially were targeted towards the candidates in Northern Ontario. Then they were targeted for the regional economic development through immigration initiative that OINP had launched. And lastly, they were targeted for career development practitioners and career counselors. So June 3rd draws essentially targeted folks in Northern Ontario under the READY program and those who were in career development practitioners. Now guys, this is very important to note that if you weren't in these regions, you wouldn't have gotten a draw, even though you may have met the cutoff scores. So unfortunately, the draws were very targeted, not just by the occupation, but also by the location. And we would go into the details as we go through this video. Under the international student stream, we had a lot of draws, and these were targeting candidates in Eastern Ontario, as we can see in this first one. Then candidates in Northern Ontario, candidates under the regional economic development through immigration, which foreign worker stream also targeted, and then candidates who were in the healthcare occupations. And as we go further, we will go about this in detail, so don't worry about it. Then the last was in-demand skill stream. This was the employer job offer in-demand skill, which essentially targets certain NOC codes that are in demand. And again, they targeted folks in Northern Ontario, regional under the READY program, and healthcare occupations. So overall, candidates in Northern Ontario, Eastern Ontario under the READY program, and healthcare occupations were the main target for these draws. And if we go into the details, let's talk about what these draws were and what all regions were targeted. So guys, on the screen you can see the OINP update page that talks about the detail of all those draws. So if we go to the first one, this talks about the draw that target folks in Eastern Ontario. So guys, they have talked about all the different counties that are included, and that includes Ottawa, Leeds, Leeds in general, Peterborough, and all these different regions. So if you were in one of these regions, you could have been the lucky one who received a draw. Um, Now, if we talk about what the cutoff was for this, we can go back to this particular thing, and we can see for the Eastern Ontario, we had um, the international student stream, and folks who were 85 and above were invited, right? So they have talked about that. Then if we go into the Northern Ontario, folks who were invited were in these areas. If you are in Sudbury, Greater Sudbury, you are in Thunder Bay, Kenora, all of these areas, then you could have been a lucky one who received an invite. Thirdly, READY, the REDI. Now, the READY pilot has very specific communities that are a part of it. If you are in one of those communities, then you're good. So, if I were to tell you the exact communities that are in the pilot, if you go to the partnering communities here, you can see it's the Lanark County, Leeds in general, Sarnia, Lambton, and Thunder Bay. So, if you were in these, so guys, Thunder Bay appears in multiple places, right? In the READY pilot, and also appears in the Northern Ontario. So it is one of those places where, if, I mean, you had multiple ways in which you could have received an idea. And then lastly, for healthcare, and these are all the occupations in healthcare that OINP targeted, which includes surgeons, family physician, nurses, nurse practitioners, licensed and home support workers as well, right? So this was in short most of the draws. Oh, there's another one which is under the job offer foreign worker stream targeted occupations. And this was specifically for NOC 41321, which was for career development practitioners and career counselors. So if you were working in this occupation, you had a job offer, then this would also be one of those draws that you may have got. There were very limited invitations that were sent out under this. There were only there were only 5 invitations that were sent under this program. But if you met the requirement, you could have been the lucky one to get the draw. So these were all the draws under the OINP. Now, guys, we've seen that Northern Ontario, the regional economic development for immigration or through immigration program was targeted, and thirdly, Eastern Ontario and certain healthcare occupations were targeted, and on top of that, career counselors were also targeted in this draw. Now, the cutoff scores for these programs give you an idea with regards to what you should expect. So, for example, if you see here under the international student stream, the cutoff for Eastern Ontario was 85 and above, and for Northern Ontario, it was just 54, making it extremely easy. And if you were under the READY program, the Regional Economic Development through Immigration, the cutoff was only 60, right? So these numbers, you can see how they change based on the population density, Eastern Ontario being more populated, Northern being less, and again fewer people in the READY program. Similarly, looking at the cutoffs for the employer job offer foreign worker and the in-demand skill stream can help you plan further with regards to what to expect. Now, this was one of the first times when Ontario, instead of limiting their draws to specific NOCs, they limited to specific communities. So they are doing region specific draws, which makes it very interesting now, as different regions are prioritized by Ontario for the PNP purposes. Now that brings us to the question, what to expect next, what to expect in the future from OINP. Guys, it has been very clear through these draws that their focus or their strategy is to kind of propel people or to motivate folks to move away from the major metro areas, that is Toronto and Greater Toronto area, and incentivize them to move further out in the north or in one of the areas that comes under the Regional Economic Development Initiative. So if guys, if you were to plan targeting the READY, which is the Regional Economic Development through Immigration Program, may be a good idea. We are probably going to continue seeing draws in the Northern Ontario area, wherein OINP is going to currently continue prioritizing folks who are in those areas, Northern Ontario areas, to be able to ensure that the population is spread out across Ontario and not just concentrated in the GTA area. Going forth, what to do? If you are in Northern Ontario, you are eligible, make sure you have a profile either through the international student stream or through the foreign worker stream. This is the most important thing for you to get the invite by OINP. If you are in any other area and you qualify, make a profile, but be mindful of the scores, right? So if you are around GTA or Eastern Ontario, you need more than 80 in your OINP International Student Stream Expression of Interest to have a good chance. However, if you are in remote areas in Northern Ontario, then a lower score may also work. In most of the cases for the foreign worker stream, folks are able to score 50, and for international student, they are able to score 70, but going above 80 or high 80s can be challenging. So if you are in such a situation, you need assistance on how you can improve your score or what to do, you can always contact us and we will be happy to assist. That's it for this video, guys. In short, we've talked about the big OINP draw that happened on June 3rd. Thousands of invitations were given out. If you are a candidate who got an invite and you need assistance, here is our contact information. Feel free to contact us and we would be happy to help you with your application. On top of that, we also had a few express entry draws under the PNP and the healthcare class this week. The cutoffs were relatively high and not a lot of invites were given out. But if you are in a position where you need assistance, again, feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help. That's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you are notified about any new update that we have. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.